Okay, awesome that we're doing a show on technology and we can't work it out, but I think we're slowly getting here. Ah, there we go. I think. Sorry, guys, we got our wires crossed. I'll just wait for Tummy to come on. He's having a bit of a hoo-ha trying to suss it out, I think. So am I, to be honest. So yeah, we had some pretty awesome questions, which I'm kind of keen. There's a couple that I wanted to get answered as well. But if you guys have any, just yell out. Oh, here he is now. Just saw him turned up. Okay, stop looking at my face. I'll jam him on now. Oh, there you are, bro. Well, we sussed it out, bro.
Yeah. I'm not that technical savvy at all, but e mihi kau tana kia koe kia kōtou e te hune ari mai nei o rātou tarina kia tāua mo tēnei wa.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
whaidoi
good.
ki te
How
whānahi
can
e
it?
hoa.
Hey?
Whai ki te ko kānahi.
Yeah. Well, it's great. So, yeah, I just come out of the Marakai and I just been digging kumara. And so, I just turned my camera around there and, so you can see the, and, yeah,
Oh,
and
yes.
there's a
Oh, so you're.
kumara, it's kamo, parane, so, like that. So,
Me.
yeah, so,
So here's how you've been doing your bubble, bro. Is that you're just in the Marakai?
I'm over here in the, down inside the shed with so I've created my own little wee bubble, as you can see, and I created my own little wee bubble there away from the house, just in
Yeah,
case. Just in case, so the idea, we the idea is really to contain myself as a co-master at that
yeah,
age group, and I thought, well, we'll say, just in case somebody gets sick, there's 10 of us living here in a
yeah.
little wee bubble, and yeah. So and I thought, yeah, I might as well create this. So this is what I come up with. So my the hui
Me.
there, and set up my little wee kitchen behind me there. Yeah, and so
That's
and
good, eh? I've seen you been
yeah.
out on the confiscation line there. Is that where they've set up a like a booth or something there?
The checkpoint, the check area is we at the moment we yeah. So at the moment, what Tuwe is doing is to put together the haumaru, hari rata ki te rohe pōtai, and
Right.
yeah, and down the Ruatahuna, the road itself shut down around about maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So stop all our Murupara relation doing some wheelies all the way out in the back block. No problem there.
Oh shit! Well, they're
All the
closing
wanna
gates
be
and that.
all our wannabe gangsters. They wanted to to stop them. You got the peer issues. So it's a really, I think that if we think about it, it's an opportunity for all of us there to rethink ourselves in the
Right.
way that from a iwi happy perspective, tana te whenua,
Right.
whereby that we need to reassess the way we do things. And I
Yeah.
don't think that we ever been put in a position for us to be able uh, to to look at the wages, because I'm really thinking seriously what are we going back to? You know, what are we going back to? So we
Well,
need to
after
read,
the lockdown.
as after the lockdown. I'm quite happy for us to stay there another 2 weeks. I think if we can stay another 2 weeks after the first round,
Yeah,
stay another 2 weeks because we're doing okay. You know, we're
yeah.
not dying by the hundreds and the hundreds. What's happening over in the USA and all the other parts of the world. But what
Mm,
are we witnessing? We're witnessing the world, the people. There's gonna be a lot of people gonna die because of some stupid idiot political parties or government. They're
yeah,
not taking it seriously
yeah,
and
yeah,
taking their whole economic base as the priority before another. So it's a
oh,
typical capitalist mentality of the handful of filthy few that support you know Aruri like Trump and many others like him, you know, and so I think the focus will be really about ourselves. So are we totally prepared? You know, we are ready to do where we're going to. You know, I mean, I think it's a real opportunity for Ibi to kind of put together some conversation together and let's look at what's in future for us. Totally for
yeah,
me, it's
yeah,
not going back to where we just left,
yeah,
and I think that's chaotic. Yeah, that's
yeah.
chaotic. So in the first 2 weeks, they have been locked up or locked in. There's no pollution. You know, everybody calm. You know, apart from some roady relations around, they still continue to do some wheelies on their motorbikes. I saw a fellow yesterday. Obviously, he was deer hunting, so he came up with a venison at the back of his truck with his
Oh no.
dogs and horses. You know,
Oh,
in the Luatoki, and our chairman Thomas Creature already put a corridor out there. No hunting. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I've seen that heaps
no
of mates
hunting.
surfing in
Yeah.
that. There's a mate's brother that got done, and there was a picture of him, and he was pulling the fingers at the cops when he was getting out of the water. And we showed a picture to one of our mates who's in Mexico, and he was like, "Shit, that's my brother."
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
wow.
And we were like, oh.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
so yeah, it's just trying to hold out that long. But yeah, I'm hating this. Like I know we can go. I agree with you though. I reckon we could go that extra, even though no one wants to do it. I reckon we could go that extra 2 weeks just to be safe.
I reckon 2 weeks, just to play safe, because we did really, our country with the leadership of the present government that we have at this moment, coalition government, and not
Yeah,
just a Labour government, it's a coalition government, giving the leadway and enable us to shut down. It's the best thing. So
yeah,
we only lost, aroha mai ki ngā kaumātua ko mate rātau o aitua hia I tēnei
uh,
mea, but we're doing okay. And
yeah,
I think for me personally, we should stay another 2 more weeks, and we can,
yeah,
hold your breath, everybody. You know, we
yeah.
can handle it.
In terms of that, with the with tangi and tangata we have ana ki te pō, like I was going to talk about this last, but we might as well get into it now. But
yeah,
how
kōrero
Māori
mai,
and
kōrero mai.
how that kawa and tikanga might have to have that shift, and obviously you're like not bad with technology and using technology and being able to hold our ritual, and almost how kind of technology could save that kind of part and do like now we've got kind of 40 people watching. How that would look if we did like tangihana and that online, or what, like how that would look
Well,
like.
okay, man, people already been doing it. I know a
Yeah,
friend of mine who actually passed, a guy called Makarini Temara. And
I,
he said to me, bro, you wouldn't believe it. And he said, what's that? I just done a tangihana on Skype. in
Mm.
in Perth. And so there's a whānau
Wow.
there who we had a tangi hana there, but they didn't have a kai karakia, didn't have a tohuna. So they set the whole set up there on his TV on the big screen, and the big
Yeah.
screen over in over there, and then, so they did so he did the whole kibbutz, the whai kōrero, the karakia, and right through the whole hour and a half. And so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
these things can be done,
Yeah.
and so we can still practice our kawa and tikana. We can actually create our tikana and kawa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like us in our own little wee bubbles. So this well, there was 10 of us. The other one disappeared, gone back to Auckland. I don't know whether he make it back there or not, but silly bloody bugger. Is my point. He karu o te rani,
Oh,
because
tika.
he said,
Nira.
yeah, he came here and he was here, and then he was getting all kind of worked up, but but so we had a whānau we could put it together just prior to shutting down, and we saw we're going to look at this very seriously. So we laid
Mm.
down the kawa and the tikana. It's really great,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah. It
It
does.
works a hell of a lot better before that, So we sanitize the whare, sanitize the everything, the car. So we cut it all orchestrated, organized in the manner that the two people go do the shopping, and everyone wahari bera, and so I kind of clean, sanitize all everything there, and wahari rata ki te do our shopping.
Yeah.
So just for 10 people,
Yeah.
and 7 adults and 3 mokopuna. So we lay out the tikana and the kawa. And this is the kawa. This is how we're going to do it right down for the next 4 weeks. Or even could be
Yeah.
longer. But you have to do that. So
Yeah.
we can, Tikana is not kawa is not something that is like that forever and after. We can make and change this, suit our situation. And
Yeah.
so we gotta make it work so everybody is clear, and not like other kawa that's happening overseas. So people are dying by the hundreds of thousands,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's koira te tohu o te kore taketana, so we don't want to go that way. And so we
Yeah.
gotta maintain our mana, ihi, wana, and within our own little wee bubble, and it works really okay with us.
Mm.
I
Because I
mean,
was thinking about like,
it took us a couple of days. It took us a couple of days for us to be able to maintain order within our community, because people were still walking around on the road as if nothing happening, and so
oh,
we had to
true.
complain. So we complained. The
Yeah.
kaumata, the kaumata complained about it. The neighbours complained about it. Well, we're not
Yeah.
So we there you are. So it took us so the
But
wheels
they got the
started
message.
moving, and then our homeowner came up out there and to bring everything into order. And hey, and here we are. It's really great. I think we should be able to do this. And so we did our checkpoint area there. I think that this is a must. So we should be able to to deal with our own community and with the supporter. So rather than the system trying to create obstacles for us not to be able to do that, we should be able to do it.
Yeah. All right. I was thinking about like, we did that Ruatoki app and that whole kind of being live online and like and remotely done. Like, if you did something like similar to that, there's no reason why, like today we've got those people watching, like that could be one ope that is coming in. If you're just thinking about Porphyry and then me and you talking at the moment, you'd be able to buzz in each kind of person that are doing whai kōrero or karanga at that, like
Yeah, of course,
seeing it
you
online.
can. Of course, you can do anything. We can do whai kōrero. Te hei wini, te hei wana, ki te whai au, ki te ao marama. We can have this conversation. Well, we can have
Yeah.
a place there. We can talk to people that need to be you have a session and have a conversation. And so I know that chur is looking at putting some kind of corridor out there, a whole lot of everyday session dealing with people who are winding down from putting together some kind of conversation. So they're able to, they're talking to somebody. But if you're on the low, I'm here. We're talking to you. So those sort of type of activities. So the potential for things that we can do is just enormous. Although it's a scary situation, I'm excited about what I can see that what we can do, and then we and then where we can go, and but I'm also scared that if we don't stick to the cover and the tikana that can put us together to hopefully to stop this nanara face to it. It has no color. You don't see it. So the best way we can do is stay home and hoki te kaina and let's be creative. Let's talk on here. And let's do it on a daily basis, whether it be about poetry, about art, kai karanga, I te kōrero ki te reo, wera mumu āhua tana katoa kai wana ni a tātara.
I've got a few parts we kind of had to kind of go through them. Going back to what you just said, like doing these on there's one of them is how to collaborate culturally. Like you've seen people doing this online, they're doing like DJs and I saw one the other day of like a drawing comp that they were going against each other, and how that kind of looks like but doing a cultural kind of side of it is going back to whether you're following the right kind of protocol and tikanga if you're going into that space. So I suppose the question is like for Māori kind of that are doing their art and their mahi like that, making sure they're safe, what do you think that they can do in these kind of situations where they can't, is it in terms of having karakia first or, like lifting that kind of thing, or what do you think?
Well, I think it's, we should be able to cater for all the needs that people need. And make ourselves available, or whānau to be available, and kaumātua tohuna to be available to share some of those thoughts, and I think that is really vital for us to be available, I guess, so we can give some kind of guidelines and. Because many of us, at times we need somebody or a person or a kaupapa that kind of calm. It's really trying to calm things down, but also to allow us to continue to work. At the moment, I haven't been doing any artwork at all. The only artwork I do is just trying to create my space here and at this moment. And maintaining that as long as I can. And I think that the opportunities is massively Hori, and where we can and I've been watching and looking at what many people are doing all around the motu, and the conversation about cooking, kai, and miri, or all of that, or just those kōrero. That the kōrero
everyone's a cooking legend now, and everyone's amazing musicians. It's pretty cool seeing like everyone doing that. Great. Yeah, no, great. I've seen a couple of good little things that I probably wouldn't have gone to, but it's like concerts online and that.
I wouldn't mind doing. I might do some, see some kani and do some bit of movement or something like that. And I might wear my pink tutu and do a bit of movement. So I think we should be able to laugh too and smile to each other. You know, and so it's maybe it's a time to heal for people. We need to heal, but at the moment, the human race is down, toned down, and it's a time for our Mother Earth to heal. And so it's an opportunity for the pūtaiao, for the air to be clean and tone down the voice and the sounds. And it's so nice to be, even in a place like Yoatoki can be very noisy, you know. And so, you know, all these young fellows with their big wheelies and motorbikes and, you know, they're still doing their wheelies, you know, and bloody, you know, and, you know, and I'm not too sure I feel safe with that kind of mentality. And so, yeah, no, we're going to treat it in a way that we can try to talk to people in the way that we can. I roto rāne te reo, te tohu rāne, te kana rāne, te tiororo rāne, you know, ura wera momo reo. Hea te reo mo te kana tēnā. And, oh, kawe pēnā. Kaja hake koe. You know, all of that kind of different tone of voice. You know, all of the different tone of voice. So they're trying to maintain the level of our, you know, of ourselves. So, because I'm not very good. I'm not very good when I get really stressed out. You know, and I get ready, and I don't like going there. So I like to maintain my tone and trying to maintain myself. I'm terrible.
I'm a cracker too. I can fly off the handle sometimes. But I was going to go into that. Like media-wise, how do you reckon the media's been throughout this whole thing? It's been pretty, you know, obviously someone who's been in the media quite a bit. How do you think their reaction to it's been?
Yeah. Well, who need a media? Well, we can do that ourselves. And then you know, and I mean, you can just read between the lines. Well, who's telling the truth and who's not. And so they're all part of the propaganda. And so we really important that we put our own our own kind of way, the way we put our audio out there. From a community base, a hapu base, or a iwi base. So a lot of iwi are actually out there doing what they need to do, and either keep their tick box going, so they still look compliance, you know, all of that. And tērā āhua tata, and enari ko te mea nui ke. So we I had an interesting conversation the other day, a couple of days ago, with the police college. They contacted me the other day with the and so with the guy Chris and
shout out to me Kafiokio, the email, the Vimeo.
Yeah. That one I sent you an email across there. So it was an interesting conversation. So they wanted some clarity around tikana kawa and what would be the best way that they can manage to talking to people like ourselves. And so I'm glad, you know, I'm glad that we have these sort of kind of conversation without people trying to label me, oh, you're a sellout. I'm not a sellout, but I think we should be able to have these sort of types of conversation. Because we need to. You know?
So like, especially people are getting quite hoha over the tangihana thing, but I think like in the end you just have to be real clear and be like, Kyle, like there'll be a time for like poroporoaki and all of that stuff. Like there will be time, but at this time must be hard for some people's whānau that are going through that stuff. But it's just like, well, we just have to everyone has to be on the same page, and I suppose that when they want to have tangihana and that.
Yeah, well, that's also based on tikana and kawa. And we
Yeah.
do have a rahui. If somebody
Right.
pass, if someone down on the river or down by the sea, wherever, they put a rahui on it. And they put a rahui, a tapu to their place there. So, kare koe hare ki te kai. Nahere kare koe hare ki te whai kararehe. And
Yeah.
te tiki kai no te nahere o ki te moana rāne o down in the waterways, in the rivers, so ko noho tapu te you put a rahui on it. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
And so and people get
But now the rahu
emotionally
is
get
just bigger.
all kind of stuck up, you know. They say, and they say that there's a virus there, and I know because when I was talking to the old lady that raised me, Hukarere, te kuia Hukarere, she shared
Right.
with me many years ago about what happens over here in Rurataka just after the First World War. And
Yeah.
people were dying by the minutes, literally dying by the minutes. And Kura
Yeah.
Mihirani was just full of people there, sick people. But people were dying from home. And so they took them straight from home, straight to the Urupa. No Tangiana, no Purupuruaki. You know, and straight
Yeah.
down. And they buried a lot of people down just past there past the school at Rubataku here. So that was around about 1918 or that period of time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we should not get all hung up about it. You know, why whakatau tātou. Tuke mate ke hare rātou. They're in a safe place, but we are not.
Yeah.
So we're here in Wana, we're in a little wee bubble. He wā mō tātou ki te tuku. It's just like what the Chinese done after all that 2 months locked up. And so they had their purupuraki, their whai kōrero on the
Right.
national scale. And we can do the same. And
Yeah.
so we can, e wāhina, hei tuku kia tātou ki o tātou nā mate. We do it all the time. Yeah, and e mihi ki o tātou mate, te huna ko eke atu ki tua o te ārai. Tēnei rā ki a rātou mā. And so we can do that. So we already had a tangihanga here the other day, and so we didn't go to it. I'm not too sure what happened, but only the whānau that was contained in a little wee bubble went to the Hohipera, but that's all I know. And
Right.
I didn't even go to, just prior when we were on 3, I didn't even go to my mate's tangihanga. And I just wanted to be in making sure that I'm in my little wee bubble. And yeah. Te rā ahua tana e hoa.
Oh no, I've been in the same boat. Like I'll just go shift back to like the art mahi. I've done nothing.
Yeah. I don't know.
We've set up a little studio in the back, and got this new printer and ready to go, and I just kind of like, I don't really know what to do, but how do you, like business wise? I mean, you've got a few fingers and a few pies over, and with your mahi and your honey and your stuff.
Well, I'm in the bee business too, and in the honey business, and so our guys still operating. So they're out there. They're able to move around and feed the bees, and that time of the year, just maintaining kai for our bees. And so the guys been traveling up north down to Taranaki. So we got about 3 or 4 staff out on board. Our CEO is operating. He operates. He stay here in Edgecombe, and so he's on the road. And the other business partner we check. So he's over in he's up in Tamaki Makaurau, but they're always on the move. So you see all the beehives and all the farmers, they're still on board.
So that's
Yeah, it's all right for us. I'm a pensioner, so I still got many of us worked for many years, so slave to the system. And so I get my penihana fortnightly. I think I get my next pay next week, and I get my fortnightly pay next week. And that's keep on going.
I was just talking about like the art, like about the art mahi and like how that's gonna like sell in the next kind of like we kind of like don't really know what's going to happen about the gallery. We're just waiting for it to kind of and how that's going to look when we go back into the gallery and start to actually I don't know what we're going to do, but yeah, it's quite interesting talking.
Yeah. I understand. If you're running a business, you got to pay the rent. You got to pay the
Yeah,
rent
yeah,
at home. You got to pay the rent at the shop. You got to do all those things. But I'm no longer in the business, but I'm still an artist, so I
yeah,
can just carry on. So I got a couple of commission, and I'm still working on it. And so I will deliver that to the lady from Wellington somewhere or Auckland. I can't remember now. I gotta keep reminding myself whose work I gotta do. And
yeah.
but I've been
That's one of the
painting. My
questions.
brain been painting. I've been painting all the time, and I've been trying to look at the way what this look like.
Yeah,
And I've been pondering through. I see a whole lot of people doing a lot of work, no, so you'll see it. So hopefully by tomorrow or Tuesday, I'm gonna. So I bought a whole lot of canvas actually, but there's just heaps of canvas here. I got some roofing irons here, galvanized iron here. I got all kinds
yeah.
of. I got all kinds of stuff over here that I can work on it. So yeah. So I'm looking forward there to create and produce some new work pertaining to this to the virus.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the questions that got asked. Artist or Māori artist and what you identify with. Like, and so that's one of them. What do you identify as a Māori artist, or what's your kind of say there with that
No,
whole
I'm
topic?
not a Māori artist. I'm an artist.
Yeah,
Simple as that. It's
simple
strange
as
when
that.
people say, when you say, are you a Māori artist? No, I'm an artist. And they say, so I say, are you a Pākehā artist? What do a Pākehā artist look like? Or are you a Chinese artist? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm an artist. Of course. I'm Tūhoi, I'm Waikato. Of course, I'm Tanata Whenua. I'm a male. I'm a
yeah,
kaumātua.
yeah,
Whatever way. But I'm first and foremost, I am an artist. And
yeah,
so I'm a co-creator to create when you're in that state of mind. And sometimes I feel much more in the creative frame of mind in the early hours of the morning, or
yeah.
even in a situation like this here is really great. I
There's
have got
another
some really
question.
crazy ideas. I like crazy ideas.
The agitator. The agitator. Tell
And
me.
yeah, maybe it's just in the shape of a kumara. And this is what we're in the shape of a kuna. It's a nice color. In the
Yeah,
color of is a reddish purple color. So I quite
yeah,
like that color. But I like the yellow. The yellow highlight it's a good background. Something like that.
yeah. You go. There's
I
a
gotta go. I gotta go and finish the toilet yet. I haven't finished the mural down the tatana at your toilet. So
oh, true.
yeah. So if I think it's you finished your work? No, still painting.
Still painting it.
Yeah. So I better let the Whakatane District Council, with the council here, to I'm gonna finish it. So
How long you been going on that?
uh yeah. Probably about a month. I had
Yeah,
Ati there with me. I had Carly Ranyaho there with me, and just bringing different artists to work on it.
yeah, cool.
And I'm gonna go back there and see what will come out after on this Rahui Noho here for the last 2 weeks, going out to 3 weeks. So and
Cool.
so I'm looking forward to go out there and do what it
Get
needs
your
to
paint
do.
on.
Yeah.
There's
So what
there's a
about you?
couple up. Oh, I'm just been sorry, I've just been just sitting in the studio, just kind of writing and just brainstorming, and because we missed out on a couple of those exhibitions in Oz. So
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't think that'll be till maybe next year. Full, the wind's blowing heaps and the
Yeah.
caravan's swinging. I'll try and get through as many of these questions because we got so many, bro. And
Yeah,
one was
no,
another.
sorry. Carry on, bro.
All good. Oh, this is for the rangatahi. How can young people get their name out there as young Māori artists? That was one of the questions. How do you think people
Yeah.
can get
Well,
their name out there?
I think there are many ways of that. I don't know. You just be creative about it, and there's art. You create the work, and then there's another vehicle you gotta go on it to present your work. You know,
Yeah.
and so making the work. And I mean, I know old friends of mine, old artists from the '70s. And they always get pissed off with me and say, shit, you know, I've been a fucking artist for bloody years, you know, and you come out of nowhere and you go do that, well, you know, and I guess it's a marketing strategy. So I
Yeah.
really like the idea for a lot of young artists here to collaborate with the older artists
Yeah.
and bringing them on board. And then I think it's really important that we have those types of relationship with the up and coming generation.
Right.
And I have been working and talking to even those young guys that help with the apps and they're setting
Yeah.
up the apps over there, and young 20, 24, 23-year-old young guys,
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
you know.
Amazing.
And
Yeah. Ethan and them.
that's just fucking bloody amazing, you know. So
Yeah.
you have those sort of types of relationships. Really important
Yeah.
that we have to have those relationships.
Mm. They what I was going to say. We were talking to Kiriyama Taipa the last one, and he talked about that playing that long game, and and
Yeah.
and it was really cool. And then I remember how you said, that you've been an artist for 68 years, 67 years. And I always,
Yeah.
since you were
Well,
born.
people
So,
always ask that question. Now, how long take you to do that work? Well, it doesn't really matter how long. It could be 5 minutes, 10, but it's still 60 odd in my late 60s, 60 odd years for me to
yeah,
come up with that full idea. Doesn't really
yeah,
matter whether it's gonna take me 5 seconds or a whole year. You know.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
No. Here's one. Do you see yourself as a patriot?
I'm patriotic. I'm
Yeah,
a patriotic too. I'm a patriotic Waikato. I'm a patriotic Ottawa. I'm all of that.
yeah. Simple, done.
We are. Eh?
That's cool. There's another
Yeah,
one.
of course.
How do we educate our children in these times for the mokopuna?
Well, we're doing it. And I think it's really great there. I tell you who's been doing a lot of art. Our household been doing a lot of heaps of artwork. So all the mokopuna, the mother been making a lot of images and stuff like that. And so, so we got shit, I can't remember how old, the Hawiki. The Hawiki is the place there on the big wall that made Owen Dippy did down in Whakatane. So I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
either 7 or 8. And then you got the little sister, Te Oro is sick, and then the 2-year-old, I think, Te Helena.
Yeah,
And so they've been working really great. It's homeschool. And
yeah,
in fact, the mothers, those two, the mother and the auntie, that they've been taught at home as a kid. That the first few years was homeschool. I think it's
yeah,
vital for us there to do that, having the homeschool. So you know, I'm here, the other nanny's here, and she will participate in sharing her knowledge, her mohiotata. And then they come out here, they do running around. So we got a whole acre block here that belong to the whānau. It's a whānau land, and so we
yeah,
are part of this. And so it's so this we got the marakai, we got the kumara, we got all that. so the kids can run around and play on there. And so there's so much. So we're in a more fortunate, like in a more fortunate situation. I feel out of all days. I found out they're kind of locked up in a tiny little wee box like that, and peeping through like that. And the eye looking at what's going on. Aroha, and Aroha to I found out there. So I'm thinking of them. And so hopefully that our conversation will help out those that are in their state, in their state.
Here's another one. Do you think as an artist you need to be provocative?
Oh, totally. That's our role and responsibility to provoke. It's a safe place. And life is theatrical. And life is so theatrical, and we do it every day. Just like the weather is very, it can be raining, it can be sunshine, it can be stormy. So are we. And we can be okay, we can be stormy, we can be idiots. Well, we all are that, and so we, but from an artist's point of view, of course, our role is to maintain, to get it across there. To provoke, to challenge, and and I think that's how I see it.
Yeah, I put up.
You're very good at it.
Yeah, I agree with some of like being provocative, but as long as you've got that kind of foundation behind it, like there's reason behind it, not that you're just.
Of course.
You just want to fucking poke the fucking stick in the eye of the bear just because you want to, but you don't always. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to always. I think for some of the kaupapa and issues that me and you both work on, they're quite real, like kind of issues that we're talking about, or like different kaupapa that we feel. Quite strongly about. So obviously in the type of people that we are, like quite honest, and we'll just fucking boom, that's what you're going to say. That's what it is. And some people
I think that there are reasons that we should be able to do that. And but there are many aspects of us as artists is the way we can put ourselves out there, and we can be wah 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 wah, or we just breathe. Relax. Kia tau ki raro. Kia tau kōtau ki raro. Like
and it's good. Like it's almost like putting out that thing, and then putting out that message, and then just waiting, because you're always getting critiqued for whatever piece you've done or what this you've done and this and that. But being able to kind of just be okay, and then take everyone's opinions on. And then kind of develop from then on. That's how I kind of try to look at it. I'll just go on to another question. This is back to like obviously being on both kind of sides of on the bad side of that media kind of coverage, and the good side, but using media. How do you think? So kind of not using it or manipulating it, but using it to kind of help further your kind of message or your kaupapa or your artwork or whatever you're trying to do. How do you kind of do that? It's a bit of a strategic thing, eh? It's
Well, I think we did very well through our last exhibition we did together up in Auckland, as an example. So we hit the headlines, bro. And so was it we hit the headlines. We got the top. Was it TV1 or TV3? Was on the news item, and in the new technology, remember that? So that was a real hit, not just for us, but also that all the other young artists that created the apps there for us on the confiscation line. and
yeah,
that was really great. And I think we can sometimes we can make the mainstream media can work for us,
yeah,
and but sometimes difficult. Yeah, humble.
oh,
Yeah. It's a pain in
and
the fucking ass, and so we can. But hey, well, we know the system, and
yeah,
we can make things work. It's about knowing your enemy. Hongi hongi at the whaiwhai. Know your enemy. And
yeah,
what part of your enemy you can, well, what you can, it's, it's like a game of chess.
yeah, yeah.
Checkmate.
And
Checkmate.
especially like for those younger kind of artists that are out there, is to kind of one thing that I learned was to make sure when they're coming there with the questions that you know what they're going to be asking, um, or you can get trapped so easily, um,
Yeah.
or they can edit things out that you haven't said, and sometimes your whakaaro or what you wanted to say didn't get out right, and then especially in Te Ao Māori, like if it's not like everything's put down, you've got the crow out there going, who the fuck, what is he up to, so just being careful around media, I suppose. Mm.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
that's
if you look at the global situation and what's been happening, all the propaganda, and so what's been happening, particularly in Australia, all the big major countries that are terrible. They're terrible, in the way they propagate their own propaganda. They're not even thinking about their living. It's all about ego. It's all about
Yeah,
ego. And we got some people all around there. We can't afford to have people with just ego. We
yeah,
want people that we feel safe, creating our community that we can all work.
right,
And I think we in a much better situation that we should be able to have a relationship. We should be able to have a relationship first and foremost with ourselves, and then we can check it out what's going on out there. And I think that the system have a role, and the police can have a role. It's not for them to create obstacle for us, but we should be
yeah,
able to have these types of conversation. We're having a checkpoint there, and so we need to have this militia, a movement of people there that can work in collaboration, and people that we trust, that we trust, and believe in them, and believe in the kaupapa is keeping ourselves safe. This is not just
you,
about them. This should be ongoing, an
yeah.
ongoing
You were
situation.
saying before how you were talking to the cops. Um, you said about feeling like it was not about feeling like a sellout or anything, but how's your relationship though been with the cops? Like pretty good though these days, eh?
Well, I hope so. I hope so. Not that I care, but it's okay. I think we can. It's the issue for me is bigger than them.
Yeah,
They're just the enforcer of the law. They make some fuck ups, and
yeah,
and having a good leadership, I guess, and having the right people on the board. And if you got some dicks within your ranks, then they need to deal with it, and with
mm.
their bad behavior and their racism. So
I
yeah,
suppose everyone, like
yeah.
even like when you sit in that corridor, when you even like you've got the cops that need to be in the same kind of space, but then you've got to have like those gangs and all of that kind of in the same. Everyone needs to be on the same page when it comes to this because it's a bigger thing than all of that, eh? That's all.
Oh, bigger than all of us put together, and
Yeah, yeah,
and you got you got people like Dennis O'Reilly from the blacks and all the different brothers there from the gangs. In the hope that because at the end of the day, for me, that all the guys in the gangs that they're still part of our whānau.
right.
They're still part of us. They got a whakapapa. And let's try and find a way. Let's try and find a way that we can kind of work and bring it in order. We need some order, and we can't afford to have chaos. You know, and I know I want to, you know, but I don't want to. I'm not going to, you know.
No. Yeah.
You know, and if it's a good reason, if I can create that, so I can create that. But we can create an opportunity for us there to be able to move forward. And so I'm excited to. Well, I'm really keen to get our partners. Maori Tana Iwi Hapu need to talk to each other. You know, we need to talk about where are we going after this. So we need to look at so I guess that we need, there are certain businesses we need to get rid of, but there are certain businesses that we need to develop. And so rather than all our big huge dairy farm, but we need to grow our own kai. You know, so we need to be able to call you, bro. He said, are you able to supply us with, 20 tons of kumara? We need that, so we can work that way. We can pay. We can create our own economic base.
Simplify.
So there need to be ongoing conversation within regional council, the council, down or duck. And, you know, we might not need Kentucky. Hey, get rid of that. Get rid of McDonald's and get a gun. Although I've been eating a bit of, pure burger and stuff there because they got some vegan food over there that I like. And,
are you still vegan? Are you not eating meat?
Totally.
Oh, cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's the only way, you know, it helped me help me to heal myself. You know, I'm in 10, 15 years of diabetes, and hey, no metformin anymore. You know, I still got to try and manage my blood. The people that buy things. Well, I actually got another picture because, as you can see, because I put my work out there on the line, and you can see, and I put a picture out there, and then I go back to it again. I changed the whole picture altogether. It's the same painting, but there's another painting beside and another painting behind. It's about 4 or 5 layers of work. Yeah. So I sent you an image of the first picture from that painting.
And it is completely different when you see that.
Completely different. Yeah.
Even like sometimes when I've seen you and you'll have like 3 on the go at the same time. That's quite cool, like seeing.
Yeah. I like it because shipment is a concentration and the focus. When you're painting, well, that's how I paint. I didn't go to the art school. I don't know how they teach people how to do paint, but I just do it, and I like to have to work about on 4 or 5 pieces all at the same time, and particularly on big works, and they help you because you're looking at and you go that there, you go to your left or you go to your right or you go in the middle, and they help you to develop the other images, the other painting. That's why I like the working, because you're creating 5 different works. Yeah. And so to help you, and so I've been doing that for a few years now, working on painting like that. And sometimes when you lock yourself up in the space, and sometimes you don't want to paint at all. You know, you don't want to paint, and you get stuck. Give my brush there, and you don't work there for 3 or 4 or 5 months or 6 months. And then next minute you get I'll go back at it again. And that's it. You get
Then you chuck the tutu on,
up.
isn't it?
Yeah. So at the moment, I am a full-time artist. It's a full-time artist, and so I'm working there. I'm working on a project, working with young artists to do some painting on the Uruwela huts. Somewhere out in Waikaremoana, Ruatahuna, and Waimana. Yeah, wow. I think there's one here down at Ruataki. So just before the lockdown, a week before that, well, that project is down on the hold at the moment. Yeah. So my calling around really to talk really to young artists. What do you want to paint inside at the bush? You want to
Yeah.
paint a bird. No, you don't want to paint a bird. What is it that you want to see there in the middle of the Uruwera? What sort of work do you want to see? You know, all of those are times. That's the kind of corridor that I ask people, and well, that's what I've been talking to young people. What is it? What do you want? So at the moment,
Yeah.
so we already had a meeting, one meeting about that, and so they're giving us 3 or 4 days to go out to the place. I'm actually going to go to Waikaremoana, up to
I,
Tame Iti, up on the top there, and so it's going to be a 4 hour walk to the place, and get you the location. So they're giving us the photo of. I haven't been to this particular place, but I'm just going there to talk to the young people. So
yeah.
help them to create what the artwork will look like in a hut in the Uruwera.
People are just putting in questions, bro. Like as I'm just scrolling down.
Yeah, I'm
When
looking
does
at
this
what is relevant. This is from Blair. Girl Blair. What is relevant to Maori children as art in the lockdown? What is relevant? Well, I think I don't know. You know, I think that as whānau are already doing that, like I explained before, and the mother and the grandmother and the aunties and the uncles are participating. Mum and dad are participating in art itself. You know, and I guess it's
Do you
around the
mean?
conversation. Why are we locked up? Do you know why we're locked up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are
Yeah.
we in the
That's,
situation?
yeah.
All
Yeah.
of that. And then they
Yeah.
say where we
Something
are
that's
there. And I think it's important. And I think it's important that we engage our children as little tamariki where we can get them what is this. And what is evident is that first time ever for a lot of mothers and fathers together, locked up together. So mama or papa not
oh
out
my
there
maka,
working.
it's gonna chime out in like 2 seconds, and then
Okay.
I'll just get you back in 2 seconds. It'll
Okay.
um the Instagram kind of gives you a kind of the end you. It times you out after an hour. We've learnt, so we're so fresh on this thing. But it'll slowly bring everyone back in. If you guys have any quick questions, because we'll just try and smash it out as fast as possible. And I'll try and write them down because that one got lost. So any like questions you want to ask Tommy about anything, just write them in now. And we'll see if he can come back, whether it's about art or just life or the history or any like stuff he's been up to in the time. See if he gets it to come back. We won't go much longer. It was just I'll just check now. Um, Kia ora. Oh, there you go. Right. Aroha mai. I'm just trying to. We're just gonna try and get him back just for that last kind of little bit. Um, oh right, I'm just writing that stuff in now. Oh, hello. Okay, here he is now. I'll just bring him in.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it times you out after an hour. We found out last time, but we'll just finish up
Okay.
the last bits, and then um, it's been a pretty good little corridor actually. Um, what was that last one that said? Sorry, are the education packs going to relevant Māori children?
Well,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I think that there's a lot of information there going, but particularly with iwi. So we got the
yeah,
Mātātua. So there's a lot of collaboration between the different sector within our community. With the Hauora. Well, I know with Tūhoe, the iwi and the Mātātua services. So
yeah,
there are a number of different services that are operating within our rohe. And so there's a lot of communication with all different groups of people that going down there pertaining to the kaumātua, people living by themselves, and making all of those services available. So things are moving
yeah.
within all our community
Even
that I can see.
yeah, and our kura kaupapa, like our kids at Whakatupuranga Rōmano, they've got their teachers have sent us on, so we're online now, and I mean from tomorrow, it's just and everything's in te reo, so we'll just be going through what they've laid down. It's just like an online kind of. It's pretty cool. I looked at it the other day, and that's really, it's quite cool, like being able to do that. Plus, they've got all the television things that are coming on. People can watch it on TV and join in and whatnot. But yeah, I suppose it's trying to get kids and stuff back into it is the hardest thing. Yeah, because people are telling you on the news net, just kind of calm down, like for especially the kids that are kind of like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Just let them have a good time and have fun, and I suppose some parents are going crazy. I know I am at some points, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll just check out a couple others. Can you see them on your side, bro?
Yeah, some of them, there's a rose, a question, what do you take, where are we? Okay. What do you take on the current government commitments to getting te reo into the curriculum?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's the government commitment and current commitments to it. And all I know that there is it's really important that the reo ought to be at mainstream. We are mainstream. The reo ought to be mainstream. And people just need to get over themselves. And I know a lot of schools are in board committee and all of that are really pushing hard on that. And I like the idea that even on Air New Zealand, where they got their staff, they do some bit of a reo, kakitiano, blah, 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 blah. And having those sort of types of conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in rather they had to be mainstream. The reo had to be mainstream.
I said that little story when we had that guy did an interview on us at the gallery, and how he said it's great to get it, and then you looked at him and said that we are the mainstream. I just cracked up.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
But when you think about, like, whether awa na moana na roto, so we kind of, and especially media-wise, like, they kind of play in that mainstream, but remembering the water sources that they come. Like visually, that's how I see that. I kind of think about the bigger, spaces. But in terms of like mainstream Māori language, and I think the ministry are trying. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I was in secondary school for a while, but I think there's a real kind of they're concentrating on how to do it. It's whether they are doing it from, hopefully not doing it from like a tokenistic kind of we have to do it because we have to do it, but they wanting to do it. Yeah, for me
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
it's no different. It's no different from us learning English. Well, we had to
Yeah,
do English, So,
yeah,
but my little didn't come from Rangatahi 1 and 2. My little come from home,
yeah, yeah,
and I did Rangatahi John Waititi's, number 1 and 2. And
yeah,
it was totally quite different to, I got really quite confused by it. And
yeah,
in the way of the way, the way the reo being used at home, and it was ongoing because
yeah,
nobody spoke English. Nobody speak English at home at all.
yeah,
And other than all the music, all in English, and Elvis Presley, and before all the rock and roll and stuff like that. But otherwise, no, they didn't even have a Maori radio station then, and so everything we learn from who we are come from home.
yeah. And like even now, like in our house, like we're pretty like it's. I mean, Mia speaks Pākehā to the kids, but I'll try my hardest. Pretty much a lot of the time is in Te Reo, but it's actually taking it outside of the house, doing that in those public spaces and making it like, especially in Otaki and Ruatoki and places like that. It's not it's normalizing it everywhere, eh? And especially normalizing it in schools,
Yeah.
which is that's good.
Yeah, but
All right,
I
bud.
like that. I mean, I got a 15 or 16-year-old. I got a 16-year-old mokopuna and other one, a 14-year-old.
Hi.
Tino kaharau ki te kōrero ki te reo. And kai arau te reo, una māramatana, una mōhiotana. And I'm really happy that, we got,
Hi.
mokopuna that carry on that kawa and tikana.
Hi.
It's, and, well, so we had to rely upon that generation, the next generation they're coming, and
Yeah.
support their whakaaro of te reo. That's where it should be. That's where it should start from. Yeah.
Kei roto I te kāinga, but first.
Ai, nari te kōrero hia I te kāina, I nā wā ko kōrero tau ki a rāua, kai te kōrero wito te I te reo. All good. He's another partai here. Can you see that one there? Kia ora, brother. How do you feel? I haven't got my reading glasses.
I'll get it.
Not only I'm deaf, I'm also partly blind. And the artist got to say, brother, how do you feel world to change and the artist got together and did that exhibition for you? I was lucky by my Manu Bennett of the amazing artwork in person. Oh yeah, you're probably talking about there was a fundraising. And there was a fundraising and pulling all of those artists together to pay for Tarani Kaipiri and I's hearing to be it was an appeal case. But Maharana Tera. So I think you put some work, a whole lot of artists put some work together. Yeah. I know. It was a good idea.
That was a big one, eh? That was up in Auckland, name. Yeah.
I think they raised something like $80,000 to pay for the some phenomenal amount of money to pay just for legal fees.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
how do you feel about we talked about that with Kiriyama and knowing your worth as an artist and and being able to, when people ask you, how much is that, and how do you deal with that?
It's just a period of time for me. I just work things by experience over a period
Yeah,
of time, and I know I know enough now to be able. I think I can sell this.
yeah,
I think I can sell this for 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, 7,000. It's just
yeah,
a number of things. It's a
yeah.
figure. And you put a figure out there, And I guess that is how do people value your work? Is it
Oh,
a $10 one? If you want a $10 one, you can buy it from Pack and Save or from warehouse price. Yeah, I think it's maintaining the quality of your work
yeah,
and having I guess provoking something because people like what people really like is the quality will take over there.
oh,
And so because you sell it, it's like I guess it's like selling a car. You're gonna buy this car. You want to buy a Holden, or you want to buy
mm,
a Tame Iti painting, or you want to buy a Hori painting in
mm,
the color blue. And so it took me a while for me to work out a way to see things to be able to give a price to it.
yeah,
And I guess that it's the same debate that we have having the mokotan. How much
oh,
do you pay for your moko? And then they say, oh, well, actually, I didn't pay for any of this, but I still contribute to it.
yeah,
So I know that people like Tame Potter or the early artists, moko artists, were the last lot of artists back in after the First World War. That
yeah,
guy Tame Potter was going around the motu, and people were actually paying him. The
yeah,
hapu and the iwi were paying Tame. He wasn't doing it for free. Of course, you got to pay
yeah,
the artist. Of course, you got to give
yeah, yeah.
something to the artist.
I read that in the,
You work that way. So you can't expect the artist to come out and I want a free moko. Mm.
yeah. I was
So
reading that
you
in
you
the,
got you got to put something back to it. So it's a two way situation.
yeah, it was in that book, that I was at yours and I was reading that Mo Moko book,
Yeah.
and it had it in there, and it said, if the koha wasn't up to like a point, make them feel it. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was really,
Yeah.
really interesting. It was like if the koha wasn't an appropriate amount, make them feel that sting of the
Yeah.
uhu when it was going in, and if it was over or what you thought or above, be real manaki and like uffy them and like get them through it. But if it wasn't, they would make you know about it. And I always thought that was like
Yeah.
quite an interesting way for. I think it was back in the day. That's how they worked. If the koha wasn't up to standard, yeah, I suppose I thought that was
Yo,
quite
I
funny.
I I know several artists. I remember a woman artist. No, excuse me, a Mughal artist from down south, and she had a client that came traveled all the way from Germany. And I think he paid a lot of money. She just,
Yeah,
I want one of these on my back, something like. So she spent
yeah,
days just doing his back. And the guy returned back all the way to Germany, and he paid a lot of money for it. And
yeah, yeah,
yeah. And I guess that I'm always talking to artists, particularly in the early days. And I
yeah,
always say to artists, what a lot of more artists would say to me is that they would do a whole lot of work for people overseas, and
yeah,
so they make enough money, but they'll come and do some, particularly my mate Doi and Gordon Hatfield, he done some work there. Myself for a hat, and people like him. and who do prolific artists and moko artists,
Yeah.
and they do a whole lot of work for other or kirituhi,
Yeah.
or a moko kauwai, or a tingwhana like this. And then they will give their time and their energy to do mahi for their whānau at no cost.
Yeah.
And maybe the whānau will put you a nice kai, you know, or bag of iwai, or bag of kumara, or kamu, whatever the case be.
There's a question that's kind of the same as, and you can probably have it around moko as well, is that, and it's always asked is, do you think you need to be fluent in te reo Māori to be able to mauto moko, you know, tērā mata ora ki tō mata, or, you know, do you think that, or, but it also, do you have to have te reo?
If you got that, yeah, I think if you got the nākau for it, you know, if you got the nākau, and if you got the wairua for it, and then I mean, over the years, I had several people came over to me, I want a moko. I'm going to have a moko. And I say, no. And I tell them why, you know, and I'll be pretty straight up. If you ask me, and I'll tell you no. And this is why I say, why you're not ready for it. You know, and it's the behavior and the attitude of that person. I mean, there's different artists who want moko, anybody who does smoke deck or drink beer. You know, and you know, and but then some other guys, well, you know, you come in and I'll do it. You know, and but I don't think so. I mean, just in the old days, and I know when I was talking, when I interviewed some of these kuia many years ago, and I asked them, "Oh, how old were you when you had your moko kauwai?" Yeah, to fuck again. Oh, too young, 18, 19, and she didn't like it because she was told here down across the road there, "Ari koe kora, you're next." You know, and karea ye te tino rata ki tērā. You know, and say why? And they said, well, and she started talking about she kind of miss having a lipstick on your lips. And I said, oh, I didn't even realize they had lipsticks back in the 1900s. Yeah. So that was her corridor around there, having a moko kauwai. And she was still young, you know, and she's still developing. And I think if you got the wairua, if you got the whakaaro, you know the person, you should have one.
And then again for the same thing, but the actual question was, do you think you need to be fluent in te reo Māori to have te reo in your artworks? And it's the same answer, eh?
Yeah.
No, that's a good. No, that's good, kōrero. Should we get a couple more in?
On that kōrero there, my bro. Yeah. No, it's good to be able to have a chat with you about that. Thank you for that. And mi kaua tana ki tō whānau. You know, and yeah.
Mihi aroha te Maria.
I look forward for us there together. Yeah. Mihi aroha. Hey, don't forget, I got, apart from the 10 of us, well, now 9 of us. Well, we got Nehe and two the Nerus. I think the Puna Neru and the Pikipara Neru, the Mama. You know, and yeah. So we gotta acknowledge the animals in our space, the intricate part of our space. So they're all
how's Nehe going?
Too.
All right?
Still blind as a bat. He's a bit of a kaihoro every now and then, but I'm learning new things about giving them food, and because even that because he's like licking, you know.
Yeah.
And so he licked my plate.
You spoil him a bit.
Yeah, I'm terrible, and so I got him licking my. I cook kai every now and then in coconut cream. Or coconut milk, but actually coconut cream and stuff is no good for dogs, for animals, and make them sick. I wonder what he was getting sick there the other day, and especially spicy food. So you get a bit of a kaihoro, and then Hollow, our mate is getting a bit my wee. He hasn't got the coronavirus, but he's got the kaihoro virus. Yeah. So that's a nehe. So all good, mate. And it was a mihi
Right,
to
bro.
your whānau too.
You too, bro.
And thank you to the 30, 40, 50, to the thousands of people out there in the world. And keep safe. Stay home. Koe ne te kaupapa. Kia ora.
Ka kite, bro. End. Whew.